In this week's episode, we're covering the case of two French sisters and what went down, what was their motive of killing or committing such a gruesome murder. This case, in my opinion, personally, it highlights social class injustice, and that's one thing that really stood out to me. So, yeah.
Three, two, one. Yeah, we're recording now. What up, guys? Hope you enjoyed last week's episode. This week, it's gonna be Mrs. Sasha. Take the
Hey
stage.
guys. Okay. Well, for today's case, it's a solved case, unlike our previous cases. And it's the
You mean-
Papin sisters. What?
What do you mean assault case?
It's solved. So we pretty much know who the criminals are. Like, it's not an unsolved case.
Oh, solved. Okay.
Okay, so it takes place in France, a city of romance, but isn't. Okay, so just a little background sort of history onto these are criminals as they appear to be. Okay, so there are two sisters. They're named Christine and Leah. They're two French sisters that are born in Le Mans, France. They come from a very troubled family.
Okay.
Their mother was dating a guy named Gustave Clemens, and it was rumored that she happened to have this affair with an employer. So, however, she was found to be pregnant, and her current boyfriend married her. That was in like October 1901. 9 months later, they had a daughter named Amelia. So Amelia is like third sister to this family. The first two sisters, it's more like Christine was like the oldest, and Leah was like the middle child, basically.
So the mom and dad, they have Christine and Leah, and then the dad leaves or they get separated, and then the mom gets
no, they don't get separated. The thing is, she had like an affair, so we think that Amelia belongs to this guy that she had the affair with, but the boyfriend that she was dating married her, and then they moved to a different part of the town, which the mother was against, and then the entire marriage became very unstable. The father started drinking.
Wait, the boyfriend was the father, right?
No, the boyfriend never came into the picture. The boyfriend is the father. The guy she was having the affair with an employee in her workplace. So he was immediately like cut out of the picture. Okay. So Christine was born on the 18th of March, 1905, and given to her paternal aunt and uncle. So they didn't really grow up with the unstable mother and father. And like soon after birth, she was just handed over. She lived happily with them for like 7 years. And then Leah was born September 15th of 1911. And she was given to the maternal uncle with whom she remained until she died. And then 1912, when Amelia was like 9, she was alleged that she was being raped by her dad. So Amelia ended up staying with the mother and the father, right? And her mom then sent her to this, what would you call it, like an institute for like nuns. It's like church, like Catholic church orphanage sort of thing. And then she was then joined by Leah and Catherine after that period of time. And then later in 1918, Amelia, that's the third sister, right? She entered a convent, then ending her relationship with like the entire family. So she cut ties and she joined this sisterhood sort of thing.
Like nuns.
Yeah, that.
Okay. Yeah.
But the other two sisters, Leah and Catherine, could not do the same thing as Amelia because their mother forbade it, and instead they were to work as maids into
Wait.
like
Leah and Catherine, or Leah and Christine?
Leah and Catherine.
Her name is Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine is the oldest. Leah is the middle child.
Wasn't it
Leah is the
Christine?
youngest. Oops, Christine. Oh my God. Yeah, Christine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go on.
Yes. Okay. And then, so the mother forbade Christine and Leah from joining the sisterhood. So they were forced into like working as maids into like different houses. And then in 1926, Christine and Leah, they started working for the Lenslin family as maids. So this family was like super rich, right? They were a French family, and the father of the husband, or like the man that they worked under, his name was Rene, who was a retired solicitor. So yeah. And then his wife Leonie and their younger daughter Jeannie. So a few years from when they first started, the woman, like the mistress of the house, right, she developed depression. And then these two girls, the servants, that's Christine and Leah, they became like the target for her mental illness. So this mistress, she would like abuse them, and it was so bad to the point where she would slam the girls' heads onto like the walls. And it was really disturbing. And like one evening, right? So that was the 2nd of Feb, 1933. Leonie and her daughter were to meet the father at a family friend's for dinner. Leonie and the daughter had been shopping that day, and then when they returned that afternoon, there were no lights in the house. So the Papin sisters, they explained to the mistress that the power outage had been caused by Christine plugging into a faulty iron, right? And the mistress, she became so irritated and she attacked the sisters like on the first floor landing. And then Christine, the oldest, she lunged at the daughter and literally gagged her eyes out. And Leah, she joined into it and attacked the mother, gagging her eyes out as she was ordered by Christine. Okay, so that's like a dominance play right there. So
wait.
Christine,
How old are these kids? Christine and Leah?
They're probably in their 30s. They look really old.
Oh.
Not so old, but like old.
Okay.
Then Christine, she ran downstairs to the kitchen where she retrieved a knife and a hammer. She brought both weapons upstairs where the sisters continued their attack. Like to one point, one of the sisters literally grabbed a heavy pitcher and they used it to strike both the women, like the daughter and the mother, on the head. Experts who like later responded, like who came to the scene, estimated that the entire attack at least lasted for like 2 hours. Can you imagine that? Like stabbing a person over and over and over for like 2 entire hours. Oh my God. Okay, so then sometime later, when like the father returned home, to find the house dark, he assumed that his wife and daughter had already gone to the dinner party, and he proceeded to go there. So when he arrived and found that his family wasn't there either, he returned
Alarm
home
bells.
with his son-in-law. That was at around 6 to 7 in the evening, where they discovered that the entire house is still dark except for light in the sisters' rooms. So the sisters basically had a room for themselves, right? The front door was bolted shut from the inside, so they were unable to enter. Finding this suspicious, they went to the authorities. Together with the policeman, they entered by climbing over the garden wall. And once they were inside, the police officer found the bodies of the mother and the daughter. They had both been bludgeoned and stabbed to the point of being really unrecognizable. 2
Oh,
hours
shit.
of killing. So,
Wait,
They
so
were-
this is 1930s France.
yeah, it was really a famous case.
Yeah, I mean, the servants killed the mistress. That's like the age-old tale.
Okay, so thinking that the sisters met the same fate, so they didn't suspect the sisters or anything. They expected it was an outsider who got in, and everyone in that house practically died, including the sisters. But
Wait,
the
what? How did
policeman,
the
he
sisters
continued.
die?
Huh?
How did the sisters die?
The policemen then continued upstairs, only to find that the door of their room was locked. After the officer knocked and received no response, he got a locksmith to open the door inside the room, where he found the sisters naked in bed together, and a bloody hammer with hair that clinged on it as on a chair nearby. Upon questioning, the sisters immediately confessed to the killing. Right? So
Wait. Slow down.
Yeah.
You just said the sisters were found dead.
naked on the bed. Yeah, together.
They were found dead, naked on the bed together.
No, they were just alive, naked on the bed. Not found
No, but I
dead.
swear you said they were found. You were listing
Alive.
people who were found.
I didn't even say the word dead.
Okay, I must have
They
heard
were
you wrong.
found. Okay. So then the sisters were placed into prison and separated from each other. Christine became extremely distressed because she could not see Leah. At one point, prison officials relented and allowed the two sisters to meet each other reportedly, and where Christine reportedly threw herself at Leah, unbuttoning her blouse, begging her to please say yes to sexual intercourse relationship, right?
What the? Whoa.
Yeah, just wait till it gets weirder. It would explain everything. Because trust me, when I was going through the case, I had the same response. Okay, then in July 1933, Christine experienced a fit, or an episode, you would say, a person with a mental illness.
Mhm, like a panic attack.
In which she tried to gag her own eyes out and had to be put in a straitjacket. She then made a statement to the investigating magistrate in which she said that on the day of the murders, she had experienced an episode like that, the one she just had in prison, and that this was a premeditated murder, right? So she's trying to blame her illness as to the cause of her murder. Get it? Does that make sense?
Yeah. She's
Okay.
pleading insanity.
Yes. Courts would usually look into that, but they did anyways. Then court appointed 3 doctors to administer psychological evaluations of the sisters to determine their mental state. They concluded that the two had no pathological mental disorder and deemed they were sane and fit to stand trial. They also believed that Christine's affection towards her sister was based on family ties. So it wasn't exactly an intercourse relationship
Affection.
as
Affection.
so it wasn't like the intercourse relationship as others had said it was, because I mean those were people's words basically, right? So however,
Dude.
during
They were found naked together. Come on.
okay, well, you never know. Like maybe they were just trying to get blood off their clothes. You never know because they didn't find bloody clothes there. It's
Okay,
just
so
the
why were they
hammer that
laying
was
down
found.
together?
God knows why they were laying down together. I don't know, man.
Doesn't seem so far-fetched.
Mm.
Does it?
Just wait till you get to the interesting bit, because this is like a twister. However, during September 1933, they had a medical testimony that noted a history of mental illness in the family. So that was basically family history. So their uncle had committed suicide while their cousins were living in an asylum. The psychological community struggled and debated over a diagnosis for the sisters. After much consideration, it was concluded that Christine and Leah suffered from shared paranoid disorder, which is believed to occur when group or pairs of people are isolated from the world and they develop a paranoia, and in which one partner dominates the other. Like you saw in the killing, like the way Christine ordered, like I would say something like a split personality sort of thing. Anyways, dominates the other. This was especially true of Leah, whose meek personality was always overshadowed by the upstanding and dominant Christine. So you know how throughout the entire case they made Christine look like the alpha, but that's where the disorder kicks in. So after the trial, jurors took 40 minutes to determine the fate of the Papin sisters, and they were found guilty of the heinous crime of which they had been accused. Leah, thought to be under the influence of her older sister, was given 10 years of a sentence. Christine initially sentenced to death, although that sentence later commuted to life imprisonment. So the separation from, what's wrong?
I said boo. She should have been sentenced to death. She should have hanged.
So even the criminals are like given a death sentence, courts cannot really impose it because one, they do suffer from like medical condition, so life imprisonment would be the thing. But even with that sentence, they could just serve like half the sentence. It's not mandatory. They like, complete the entire sentence. Got it. Okay. So the separation from Leah, okay, this is Christine's thing, proved to be too much for Christine, and her condition got really worse, and it was so rapid. When they were like apart, she experienced depression, eventually refusing to eat. Prison officials then transferred her to a mental institution, hoping that it would benefit her from being separated from Leah, but she continued to starve herself until she died.
Who? Christine.
Cachexia, in medical terms.
Leah, who starved themselves?
Christine. Leah only served 8 years from her 10-year sentence, and then she moved to a town in 1941 where she had joined by her mother, changed her entire identity, and worked as a maid in a hotel. Okay.
Oof. She's going back to the same job.
As a maid, but in a hotel. There were books, poems, as well as movies on this case that did capture a lot of attention in France. The thing about this case, it also highlights social class.
Yeah.
And their oppressive, like the sisters' oppressive struggle of the social class.
Yeah.
It seemed interesting that way. Because, I mean, think about it. The sisters would have never attacked the entire family if it wasn't for that mother who, like, violently mistreated them.
Being a bitch.
Yeah. Like, the husband is a goddamn solicitor. Like, couldn't he put the wife into, like, I don't know,
It's his wife though.
an institution itself? What?
It's his wife though. I mean, this goes to show
Exactly.
that karma is a bitch.
Well, shit. Well, that's the way the case ended. That actually kind of sucks because Leah just doesn't serve the entire sentence, and I don't know. I just feel like it's so unfair that how Christine ends up dying while she just gets to walk away.
Who, Leah?
Like, clearly, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
Christine
the
was the
way-
one who started it though.
Yeah, she starved herself and everything, but
No. She's the one who started the attack.
yeah,
Was there
Christine
any-
was.
Yeah, is there any evidence that like the attack was preempted? Like they planned it out?
No, they didn't plan it out.
Yeah, then she's the one who started it. She definitely deserved to die. I mean, so does Leah, at least life imprisonment. But
Like, Leah, no, it's just that the disorder. Okay, like, they expected Leah to be this really meek, weak sort of woman that wouldn't do anything unless she was commanded to, but in reality she was more of the alpha. Like, I know, like, I mean, how would the people even know, like, when they are recording like the case, how would they know what the sisters were like? I mean, who's going to give them a huge background research as to what these sisters were thinking at that point of time? Like, I mean, the case happens and that's it. Like, you don't have facts to like prove the sister's actions and everything. So I don't
what do you
know.
mean?
It just doesn't.
Weren't there
It
dead
doesn't
bodies?
add
and
up to
everything?
me.
Okay, wait. I
What?
want to know, how did they know that Christine was the one to attack first, even though both of the
That's what I'm telling you. That's basically
like
what I'm trying to say.
did they get that out of like interrogation or what?
Yes, when it was upon questioning, Leah did blame. No, because Christine, when she was having her testimony, she said that it was a like she pre-planned it sort of thing when she was having that episode where she practically took her eyes out herself. And that was what her defense was in court. So also was like another factor that they pleaded guilty for the crime. So just reduce
Yeah, I
their
mean-
sentence.
I guess it's not like. I mean, they were gonna be found guilty either way, wasn't it? There was so
Yeah,
much
I mean, no
evidence
one else
against
was in
them.
that house.
Yeah. What was the twist though?
It was Leah. She was supposed to be the twist.
Oh, okay. I mean, that wasn't very impressive. I'm gonna lie.
I don't know. I just don't feel satisfied though.
Mm,
It just doesn't add up to me.
yeah. What are some of the movies on this?
You just Google up the Papin sisters. That's what the case was called.
Okay. Papin sisters. She's still alive. Holy shit. Oh my god. There's an image of her. Oh my god. Yeah, she died. She died in 2001. Oh my god. There's this photo of her and she's like super old grandma. She's 90 years old. It's like a
Oh my
2000
goodness.
interview and she just looks like a witch. She looks so creepy, scary, white hair, like that curved nose. She looks like, she's gonna take a big fat pot, start making potions and whatnot. Shit, bro. The Blair Witch.
What year did she die?
2001. Damn, bro, this is your case. You don't know that much?
I see the death date. Oops.
So, honestly, I feel like the mistress got what she deserved. Not the daughter, though. I feel kind of bad. How old was the daughter?
Oh, the daughter was married. So probably in her 30s too.
Shit. That's messed up, man. I feel the mistress definitely deserved him. Like, I don't know what.
Then again,
exactly.
she was also going through a medical condition, so I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
still
that
think
doesn't
it's a
mean-
stupid husband's fault for not putting her in a goddamn hospital for starters. The entire
What does
thing
a
could have been
solicitor
avoided.
even do? I don't know what those are. What do they do? Dude,
Yeah.
what does a solicitor do?
Oh, well, this is in France. I think it applies the same thing. They basically just do, they don't appear in courts. It's just they do the legal documentations. Barristers usually attend courts and represent their clients in courts, while solicitors just handle all of the paperwork and documentation, the deeds, and everything. But now there's not really a difference because solicitors can also attend courts.
So both of them
think
are
that
lawyers?
also-
Both of them are lawyers.
No, the mother isn't a lawyer. She didn't
No,
state her
no.
occupation.
Solicitors and barristers.
Yeah,
Are they both considered lawyers?
yes.
Hmm.
I actually thought that only applied in the UK in like olden times. I don't know. I didn't know that it was in France too.
So I think you have any more points on the case?
Well, that pretty much wraps it up.
Short episode, no? Yeah. All right, well, see y'all next time, I guess. Yeah?
For your episode.
Yeah. Yo, my episode is an interesting one, I have to say, next week. Pay attention, kids. Bye-bye.